Welcome to Café Cackle. We have opened up this cafe so that I can sit with different people and interview them. My name is Jackie Shaw. I'm the owner of Get Organized, and I'm here to bring you fascinating people that love to giggle. See? Perfect. So Christee, we're sitting here at the cafe, and we were just talking about marketing and communication.
Yep.
And one of the things that is important is in the time of text messaging, my opinion on being professional is I don't care what you look like. And I don't care how you dress, as long as you look fairly clean and there's no strong odor, right? Like, I do your thing, right? But what I do expect, and what I would want all of the administrators watching this to be thinking about, is the communication, the verbal and written communication. That is where we can show our professionalism.
Right.
And that means not using more than one, maybe two exclamation points in any given email. If you have one exclamation point, it means you're excited. Two exclamation points, I feel like you're yelling at me. And three exclamation points, I think you might be having a breakdown.
And please don't use all caps.
And please don't use all caps.
Because I don't want to be yelled at.
Yeah. And capitalizing things and salutations. And what we were talking about is you kind of like basically it's what the other person's doing, right? Yeah. If they keep saying hi, Jackie, with each email during the day, I'll keep saying hi back. Yeah. If they don't say hi, then I'll skip it as well, because at that point we're really having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's after the initial
hi,
interaction.
Jackie.
Right. Yeah. And then
hi, Jackie. Well, hi, Jackie.
And if we were in an office, you'd probably walk up to the person every time and say something to get their attention.
Yeah.
But what's interesting for administrators is they have more clients than anyone else, any other department in a company. Administrators have the most clients because the employees are our internal clients. They have things that they need from an administrator, whether it's related to payroll or benefits or just communication issues. They need to, there's lots of things there. And then the vendors are really our kind of quasi-internal clients because they're doing work to help us take care of our end clients. And so there's the communication with them. And then there's the outgoing clients, right? And I think sometimes people focus on that outgoing client communication and everyone else kind of gets the gruff, like, you're an annoyance to me. Not always, but it can read that way.
Yeah.
And so I definitely have had business owners that talk about concerns about administrators that they have working for them because of the way they handle communication with vendors and employees. While they're our clients, we also need to have parameters around our own life and how we're willing to be communicated to. If a vendor, the moment they get work done, is like sitting at your desk waiting for a paycheck, right? Waiting for their check, then you have to say, listen, we cut checks on Friday.
Right.
And feel like you are empowered enough to be able to say, no, this isn't the way we do things.
Right.
But what advice would you have around having like everyone literally being your client when you're working as an administrator?
That's a tough one because for me, when I'm working on a project, I don't want to be disrupted, right? Don't want to be interrupted because I want to make sure that I'm getting that done because I'm billing the client for that, right? When you're sitting in an office and you have interruptions, constant interruptions, I think the most important thing you can do is when somebody says, hey, can you do this for me? Can you get this to me? You as an administrator need to say, I'd love to, what's your time frame? What's your time frame? When do you need it by? Because then you can prioritize and you'll know whether it's an emergency and you need to drop everything, or whether you can finish what you're working on and then get to it, or whether it can wait till tomorrow.
That's where calendars come into play.
Yep.
Like actually booking what you're going to be working on when. And it can be really easy as an administrator. I know at my last day job, there were lots of times when I would leave myself a list of 3 things I wanted to get done the next day, but I never had a calendar beyond when I was meeting,
Right.
like had meetings.
Right.
I never really booked time, and I do now. And so that's one of the things that I would share with administrators is like, yeah, have a calendar. And I think a lot of them do now. Have a calendar where you're booking, like, this is when I'm going to confirm that all the timesheets are accurate.
Right.
And this is when I'm going to submit payroll. And then you can like open up your calendar when somebody asks you for something. You can say, okay, what's your time frame?
Yep.
Often I feel like people that take on administrator roles are people that are helper, like they come from a place of wanting to help. But the downside of that is you can start believing that everything asked of you is an emergency. Like that when the owner says, can you get me a P&L? You feel like it in the next 5 minutes is when you need to do it. Where if you had asked, okay, when do you need it by? What's your time frame? You might find out that they actually don't need it until Friday when they're having their managers
Right.
meeting.
Right.
And so we have to keep good boundaries around our own time and our own schedule and not feel like everyone can tell us what to do
Right.
and when to do it. We have to,
Yeah.
Good. So our dear Administrators Unite crew, make sure that when you're interacting with all of your internal and external clients, that you do keep good boundaries. There's no reason why you should be stressed out and not sleeping and working 10 hours a day and because you're trying to meet expectations that you've created for yourself.
Right.
Because you believe that everything that needs to be done or that many things are an emergency. Right.
Yep.
And, going back to the contract bookkeeping work, like what Christee does, having somebody around that can just have your back and they're going to take care of the reconciling or they're going to take care of payroll, just so that's one more thing that's off your list so you don't have to worry about it. Because it can be very difficult, especially when you're in the real world office, like actually around other humans. It's like all day long you're interrupted.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
One of the things that I always suggest that people do is even if you have an open floor plan, have a sign that says, I am unavailable until 2 p.m. Right? Or do not feed the bear. No, do not interrupt me. Right?
Yep.
Because it's very easy for people to have it just experience constant interruptions between the internal clients of the employees and the vendors and the external clients and then management, that you can feel like you're not getting things done.
Yeah.
And so in order for you to get things done and so that you can stay in good standing with management, you need to put boundaries around things, even though sometimes it might make people sad.
Yep.
Thanks, Christee. You're welcome.
Jackie Shaw Ibrod presents a Go Entertainment production. You can learn more at administratorsunite.com.
Come back for more awesome conversations.